How's it going, everyone? Jerz here with some Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. Keep in mind, this is just storytelling. I'm just going to tell a backstory of the Kazeguchi clan that I created. It's all fictional, no gameplay here. And it's just a background story on how they came to power and etc, etc. So let's get started. I have done a video like this similar to Saint Family. I will link that in the description if you are interested to check that out. That was like the first story I ever made up, but this is sort of like a continuation, I guess. So anyway, without further ado, we're gonna meet the Kazeguchi family and get started into the actual story here. So here we have Kazeguchi Jinto. Next up we have Reina. These are the children, the daughter. That's the son, daughter, and the other son, Kazeguchi Yomi. And here is their mother, Lu Nala. You read that right. This is Lu as in the Lu lineage, the Lu Bu, Luling Chow, Lu Love, etc. And here is their father, Kazeguchi Soto. Now, this family is trying to seek revenge on the Saint family. If you guys are familiar with them, then you may know what's sort of going on here. The Saint family wanted to raise to power. They started off noble and they ended up very dirty and nasty to everyone, and they were doing any means necessary to take power. Saint Giron became extremely greedy with land, with power, everything. He literally sold his soul to the devil and turned into a demon. So where this story is going to pick up between the Saint family and their family, how they interact. Right now, where the story is, the children are all quite young, maybe in their early teens, maybe they're like 10, 11 or something like that. And they're actually at war right now. They're living in a small village and they're at war with the Saint family. The Saint family is attacking their village right now, and Soto has taken his oldest son, Jinto, to go repel the enemy. And while this is going on, he's got his two younger children, Reina, Yomi, and the mother in the home, just waiting it out, hoping that Soto and Jinto will return and say that everything is okay. What ends up happening is Soto and Jinto cannot make it back in time. Their village is already literally being attacked. They're attacking their home, and Soto and Jinto are busy in the front line. They cannot fall back, or pretty much everyone will die in their forces. So the Saint family makes it to their home, and Lu Nala will sacrifice herself to save her two children so they can run. And they will run as fast as they can, as far as they can away from there. And they will also witness their mother being killed by the Saint army. So Lu Nala, she dies very early on in the story, but there's a lot of significance with her here. So they literally watch their mother be killed. And they will run off and hide until the entire battle is over. Later on, everyone will recuperate here and get back together. They will feel very emotional, very sad that they lost their mother. He lost his wife. He was madly in love with her, and he was not able to protect her, so he feels absolutely terrible. He has great shame as a warrior as well, because he was not able to protect his home. And he decides that he must train his children so they can defend themselves better. The only child he had trained was Jinto, and he ended up taking up a swordsman type style, and which was his preferred style anyway. And he ended up training all his children, and they all became quite decent warriors as well. So after doing so, he decided they must increase their forces somehow. They cannot take out the Saint family with just the four of them. They have to do something. So he sends all his children off in different areas to find what they can. And he sends off Jinto to a village not too far away, and he's gonna meet up with a warrior over there. But we'll get there soon, because now I want to talk about that warrior he's gonna meet. So Jinto made it to this other village, and he met this unknown warrior there. Now let's do a little backstory on the unknown warrior. This warrior had lived in said village. They were born there, and as a child, they had seen their village burned down. They had seen their friends and family killed and burned alive, and it was very traumatizing. And there was a warrior in the Saint army that was there invading their village, killing everyone, and he had felt so terrible about what was going on. He did not want to kill this child, and this child is the unknown warrior. And what he ends up doing is he abandons his post in the Saint army. He takes this child and he just runs, he just leaves. He can't deal with the guilt of killing all these innocent people, and he did not want to let this child die. If he let this child die, he would feel like he failed as a warrior, as everything. He did not want that to happen, so he grabbed this child. He abandoned everything in this military and just ran. He would later find himself a home in a secluded area, and he would try to raise this child as his own. He's never had children of his own ever in his life, so he treated this child as his own little baby and raised them. And he was also a swordsman as well, and he would later train this child when they're old enough to learn to become a skilled swordsman. But later on, as time passes by, after he had trained the child to become a very skilled swordsman that ended up surpassing him, which made him feel great as a father. After the child had surpassed him in swordsman ability, the Saint army had gained information on his whereabouts, and they wanted to defeat him as well as the child as well, to get them out of the way. He was a rebel, and they wanted to eliminate him as soon as possible. So what happened, one day he was gathering water, and he was killed by a saint assassin. He was one of the assassins, and the child knew something was wrong, because when the father is out in the field, when he's out doing something, he likes to sing, he likes to hum, and the singing and humming had stopped so abruptly that the child knew something was wrong. This unknown warrior knew something was wrong. They grabbed their weapon and they waited inside of their home. When the assassin came into the home, a heavy tear had run down their face, through the child's face. They had known, if this assassin's here, my adopted father is dead. They knew that the person that loved them the most and taken care of them over these years is now gone, and now they have no one. When the assassin had entered the room that the child was in, they quickly defeated the assassin. In one powerful strike, the assassin was defeated, and the unknown warrior knew they could no longer live in this village anymore, in this little secluded area, since the Saint family already had information of their whereabouts. So what the warrior decided to do was to go back to their born village. Since they had all the skill and power, they decided, I want to go back home. I want to see if I can find anything from my childhood. I have nothing right now. I need to find something. If I could find anything, a hairpin, anything from one of my friends, one of my family, I will feel more alive that way. So this unknown warrior ends up going back to their village, and the village was rebuilt. It looked almost brand new. People had been living there for a while, but it was a Saint army encampment now. The Saint army had taken over the village completely, and there was soldiers living there. And this warrior had an altercation with about 5 of the soldiers. They questioned the unknown warrior and said, "What are you doing here?" And they took out their weapons, and a battle started out. Now here's where Jinto comes in. Jinto had been at this encampment for some time, pondering, how am I going to steal these rations? He's trying to get food for his family, and he's pondering, how am I going to steal these things? And he sees the golden opportunity. He sees that the warriors that were guarding the rations are actually in an altercation with some unknown warrior. He doesn't know who they are, and he's like, this is the golden time. He loads up a bunch of bags full of food, puts them on his horse, And he stays a moment. He's like, this warrior is still alive? I've been stealing food for the past few minutes and they're still fighting? Like, he thought they'd have been dead by now. And Jinto thought he'd have been having to fight these warriors himself after. But after he loaded up all the bags, he would stay a little bit longer and he would notice that the warrior was still fighting fiercely and they were not able to defeat the warrior, but they did wound the unknown warrior. And at that moment, Jinto had seen such bravery, such strength, and he thought, my father said we should recruit strong warriors or just anyone. Why should I let someone with such skill go to waste? He knew if he did not help, that the unknown warrior would probably fall in this battle against the 5 officers. So Jinto would assist the unknown warrior and help them defeat them. And the encampment would be free of enemies right for now, because they're off doing some duties or marching or training. I haven't really figured out that part yet. But the rest of the camp is not there, and they had left 5 people to watch the encampment. And Jinto and the unknown warrior had ended up defeating them both together. The unknown warrior had some pretty nasty wounds, and Jinto had decided to help them. Since the village was rebuilt and had all these medical things here, he would be able to help them there. So Jinto decides to help this warrior and heal up their wounds, but to do so, he would have to remove these cloths to get closer to the skin and help them out. So doing so, he would realize that this unknown warrior was this beautiful young lady. And this is Sayuki. She would reveal her name to him when he's helping her, and she would feel grateful that someone was here to help her. And she would not find anything in the village of relevance, but she would feel that it was destiny to meet Jinto this day. And he would, in a way, he was just in awe at her beauty and her ability to fight, and how they both had similar goals to defeat the Saint family. She absolutely hates them for what they did, and he hates them as well for what they did to his mother. So he would invite her to come to the Kazeguchi kingdom, which is not really a kingdom yet. It's just a very sad village that was able to repel the Saint army temporarily, and they're still building up. So he would later take her home and introduce her to the family, and they would later get married. They would fall in love and get married, Jinto and this young lady here, Sayuki. And that's that about this warrior. So this is one person that they gained in their army here. And the Kazeguchi, they're grateful to have this new warrior. She is at the moment the strongest female in their military, so she is looked up upon by all the female soldiers in their army. So she's a huge key to being here. So the Kazeguchi, they're absolutely grateful they got this new powerful warrior, but they need more. They need something else. Soto sends Reina and Yomi over to the Lu kingdom, which is where Luling Chow is in charge at the moment. She's quite old. Lunala was her mother. Lunala is Ling Chi's daughter. And Ling Chi also has another child as well, we'll introduce here in a little while. So this is her daughter, and they're going to go over there and they're going to ask Luling Chow for assistance. Can they send anyone to help them take out the Saint military, to eliminate the Saint clan, that just obliterate the name? So they would send Reina and Yomi there to try and speak with her. Jinto was already doing his task, which we spoke about already. So they're at the Lu Kingdom, and Ling Chi does not care at all about her grandchildren. She's absolutely disgusted with their existence. She hates the fact that her daughter married such a weak person. He couldn't even protect her. She feels marrying him was an insult to the Lu name, and she refuses to help them in any way. So the children tell her, the grandchildren tell Ling Chi, well, they killed your daughter. They don't say they killed our mother. They say they killed your daughter, to make it seem like, well, that was your kid, you know? So they tell her, well, the enemy killed your daughter. And Ling Chi was like, she's a warrior. Dying in battles, what is an honorable thing. So what Reina and Yomi decide to do is to exaggerate on the story. They will tell Ling Chi that their mother was raped, killed, and also dismembered, which is an enormous dishonor to your name. Ling Chi will be absolutely angered by this. She'll say, I cannot believe the Saint family would even dare to disrespect the Lu name in such a way. She will grab her weapon as tight as she can and stand up, and Ling Chi will look down to her hand, and she'll realize her old age, she could barely make this trip to even battle. How would she be able to help? Ling Chi puts her weapon down. She sits down. She sends a messenger to go get her son from the other room. The messenger brings the son over. The son is nowhere to be seen though. Where is he? A powerful wind opens the door in the back. You can see nothing but pitch darkness. All you can see are Luling Chow's bright red eyes in the darkness. This is Ling Chi's son. Ling Chi says, I need you to regain honor for the Lu family. You must destroy the Saint family, the Saint clan at all costs. You will temporarily ally yourself with the Kazeguchi and absolutely obliterate the Saint kingdom and seek honor for your sister Nala. Luling Chow decides to ally himself with the Kazeguchi. He is yet to prove himself to the Lu kingdom, but Ling Chi has made it clear to him, if you can do this, you will be 100% heir to this throne. Everything will be yours, and you will have made the Lu lineage proud. So Ling Chow sees this as the perfect opportunity to get in there and do what he has to do and bring honor back to his family name. So in doing so, the Kazeguchi take, I guess you could say, initiative on this. They're like, perfect. We have Luling Chow here. He is one of the strongest warriors in the entire country. If we have him here, how can we lose? So the Kazeguchi had realized something. Ling Chi said, you will temporarily ally yourself with the Kazeguchi. They want this guy as an ally. They want to have him. So what Reina decides to do, she decides to lead him on, and later they will wed together. They will actually have a marriage, and doing so, this will combine their kingdoms and therefore increase their land as well. So Reina was able to do this. She was able to manipulate somehow Luling Chow into thinking that they were in love and something, and they ended up hooking up and getting married, and now their kingdoms are one, but the Lu kingdom still has their own piece of land. Reina would later manipulate Luling Chow into making a permanent alliance, as in, what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours type of thing. And Luling Chow would be suckered into doing this at the moment. It's his first time feeling love. He's confused, he doesn't know, and he does not want to give up this opportunity. He's just a young guy that just fell in love really quick, and he's just trying to make it work the best he can and giving her everything she wants. It's just an honest thing he just had done at the time. So they had ended up combining their kingdoms together, and she had bribed him. Well, she bribed Ling Chow. She's like, Ling Chow, you're the strongest dude out here. Do you have any friends you can invite to our army to help us defeat the Saint clan? I really want to kill these guys. And Ling Chow remembers, well, there is a family that's very loyal to the Lu kingdom. Lu Bu, if you guys remember in Extreme Legends, we're gonna go, to the Extreme Legends game. Lu Bu had saved Hua Xiang, and Hua Xiang wanted to repay Lu Bu. So in turn, Hua Xindun was here, and he was actually friends with the Lu kingdom. Hua and Lu ended up continuing being allies after that, and Hua Xindun ended up being sent over here to assist Ling Chow. He asked the Hua kingdom, I need help. Can you send anyone? And the Hua Kingdom said, yes, absolutely. We will help you anytime you wish. We will send one of our greatest warriors, Hua Xindun. And here we have Hua Xindun, and he'll be helping out the Kazeguchi family as well. In the name of helping Luling Chow, he will follow him pretty much to the end of the earth if need be. That's how loyal they are to the Lu family. So through Reina's manipulation, she was able not only to get Luling Chow, but she also got Xindun. She didn't have control over him, but the fact of just having Luling Chow here was able to make this happen. And Luling Chow also said, well, our army does lack a strategist. I know a family that can supply us with a strategist as well. Reina is absolutely amazed. She's like, oh, this is great. We need a strategist. We could definitely use one. And Luling Chow said, well, my grandfather used to fight with a man called Shen Gong. Maybe if we can get his granddaughter to join us, Shen Rong, that would be perfect. So Luling Chow speaks with the Shen family, and Shen Rong does in fact join them. Here she is here. Oop. Come here. Alright, so here's Shen Rong, and she ends up joining their forces as well. And through their ability and everything, we're just gonna, I guess, skip a few things, because I haven't 100% got the story down, but with her assistance, with everyone here, they were able to take down the Saint clan. Luling Chow ended up gaining an enormous name for himself, and his wife, the Kazeguchi clan, was well respected throughout the land for a while, but they had done a few snake techniques to get things to work the way they wanted to. So after the battle with the Saint clan had been over, yes, I'm speeding up the timeline a little bit, but after the Saint clan had been defeated, Hua Xindun had decided, well, my work here is done, Luling Chow. Thank you for inviting me. I have brought honor to my family's name, and I'm gonna head back to my land. Luling Chow thanked him for helping them out, and he sent him on his way. He said, thank you for helping. We really appreciate it, and I hope to fight with you sometime in the future again. Hua Xindun would tell him, take care of yourself, and if you ever need my spear again, feel free to call me, or just come to my land. I will help you at any time. So at that moment, Hua Xindun had left. Later on, rebels will come into the land and try to fight the Kazeguchi clan. Yomi had led on Shen Rong into thinking they had something going on at the moment. So here's where things get a little crazy. So at the moment, Yomi had led on Shen Rong into thinking, I'm quite interested in you and such. Can you handle these rebels with me? And he would lead her into battle to fight these rebels that want to defeat the Kazeguchi clan. And in this battle, Shen Rong is struggling very badly. She's calling to Yomi. She's like, Yomi, I need help over here. We may lose this battle, and etc, etc. And Yomi decides, well, I mean, if you lose this battle, then what good are you of a strategist? And Shen Rong will tell him, well, you did not tell me there was this many enemy here, so chances are we are going to fall. Yomi will then get on his horse and abandon her here, leaving her to die. Shen Rong, with the false sense that she had loved this man, or the false sense that she thought he had interest in her, she had felt extremely hurt. She would still call his name, and even as he rode off, she would say, Yomi, please come back. And he would just continue riding off. And in that rebellion battle, Shen Rong will die in that battle. And Yomi would just abandon her because all he wanted to do was defeat the Saint clan. And if you die in some random battle or something, he doesn't care about who you are. He just cares about his name, cares about his family. He cares about doing what he can, and if you can't keep up and you get hurt or something, you're not his problem. So Shen Rong will fall to a rebellion battle. Hua Xindun is back at home. He left right after. He was smart. Luling Chow, he would decide to go home to pick up some family heirlooms, but before doing so, he will hear news that his mother had been murdered. Actually, I think I skipped a little bit too much. But Ling Chi had been murdered during their war with the Saint clan. Let me back up just a little bit. Sorry, guys. But Luling Chow had heard that his mother was murdered by the Saint army. She had been assassinated. What had happened was she had found out that the Kazeguchi were just using her son, that Reina really did not love her son. She had spies watching over her son, even though she told him, I trust you completely. She still had spies watching over her boy because this is her last child, and she did not want to fail him. So when she had learned that her spy had returned and gave her information telling her, well, her spy, a spy, returned and gave her information that the Kazeguchi are not being loyal to their deal, and they're using Luling Chow's power to only empower themselves. So Ling Chi decides, I must warn my son quickly, get me my horse, and she's running to her room to go grab some stuff, some last minute things. And it turns out that spy really was not her spy at all. It turns out her spy had been discovered months ago. He had been killed, and he was replaced with one of the Kazeguchi spies, which is also an assassin as well. He had stabbed Ling Chi in the back right through her heart with a sword holding the symbol of the Saint clan on it. And with that, it completely enraged Luling Chow, and the Kazeguchi had thought all of this out, because if they eliminate Ling Chi, then that means all the land, the inheritance, goes to Luling Chow, and Luling Chow had already given permission that they will combine, and what's yours is yours, what's mine is yours, etc. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. So, doing so, eliminating Ling Chi was a strategic plan by the Kazeguchi clan to gain more land and power. So Luling Chow, he's furious at the news, and that is what motivated him even more to crush the Saint clan. So again, after the Saint clan was done for, they were defeated. Luling Chow's the head man, Huan Qingdun, we're just recapping, he went back to his kingdom, and Shenrong was left to die in battle by Yomi, but no one knows this. They just think that they just died in battle. So after all this has taken place, Luling Chow wants to go home and pick up some family heirlooms. Now we're going back to this part. He went home to pick up some family heirlooms. His entire castle is empty. Not a single person, not a single servant. No one is here. He finds it odd, but he continues to go to his quarters to pick up his family heirlooms. Maybe his grandfather's halberd or something, anything. He's just here to pick up things that he would like to take with him to continue living with his wife that he still has no idea about. And in his room, he would find not one, not two, but 5 assassins bearing the mark of the Kazeguchi on their attire. 4 of them would rush at him immediately. He would destroy all 4 of them in one fell swoop of his halberd. The 5th one, actually being quite skilled, will give him a decent battle. They'll end up destroying the entire room. Their battle will go through a window into the outside, into like the backyard near a cliff. And eventually Luling Chow will defeat this 5th assassin. Now Luling Chow, at this moment, everything hits him at once. Every single one of these assassins were bearing blades that said that had the Saint clan emblem on them. So everything hits him at once. He's like, my God, my mother was defeated with a blade similar to this one. Why were they here? What is going on? Why are they wearing the Kazeguchi attire? He's trying to ponder everything at once. So now he's trying to plan how this is going to happen. He decides he's going to give up everything temporarily as part of his plan. He decides to make a letter stating that he will not fall to a Kazeguchi assassin, that he would rather kill himself than die to an assassin. There'll be some blood on the letter. There's already blood all over the room. So when someone comes to the scene, they're gonna see the 4 assassins dead inside. They're gonna see a blood trail leading to the outside towards the cliff, and they're gonna see the 5th assassin with a bloodied blade out by the cliff, and it's going to look like that Luling Chow jumped off the edge of the cliff, so he would die to his own cause instead of the assassins, if that makes any sense. And this would all go towards his little bloodied letter that he created for when someone comes to discover this. So with this letter, everyone is going to assume Luling Chow truly has died, and it's gonna go, the news is gonna go rapidly across the land, and Luling Chow realizes he literally only has one friend left in this world, and that is Hua Xin. So Luling Chow will conceal himself in some heavy tons of cloth and a hood and such, and he will seek refuge in the Hua Xin kingdom. And I think that's where I'm gonna end it off for now. I'm just gonna let Luling Chow maybe gain a plan or something with the Hua Kingdom, maybe rebuild his forces, and we can add a little more to this plot later. I just have to make more characters, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know your opinions. What do you think about the plot and all that stuff? Do you think it's okay? It's interesting? Do you think some things could use a little change? And yeah, I haven't really said much about Salto, but I guess we'll save that for the next one if we ever get to another one, if you guys like this sort of stuff. Oh, and if any of you were wondering, the Salto that Nala married at the time, she had married, this is the Salto she married, this is the one she fell in love with, and this is the one that started training, becoming stronger so he could defend his family when the Saint Army was invading everything. So let's take a look at him. He was just a farmer, just like his father. And he was really good at farming and stuff. Here, let's watch him tend to the crops real quick. And this is the man that Nala fell in love with. He was so simple. He made her laugh. He was just so different from all the guys she was used to meeting, and that's what attracted her to Salto here. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later. See ya.